Hi guys, welcome back. So today I want to discuss making your own envelopes for the very simple reason that I have these coloring books and I don't know what to do with them after I'm done coloring them. So I've come to the conclusion I have too many and I, need another outlet for the coloring pages. Now, as much as I like coloring and I like to hang them up, not all pages turn out the way you expect, or some of them are so tiny that, something like this is fine. This is easy for me. However, something along the lines of, let's say, like this, that is so small. That would give me anxiety for the very simple reason that I would try to fill in each little space very specifically and it would drive me nuts. So I came to the conclusion I need to do something different with these pages. So what I've done is color them in with watercolors in a very loose kind of way, and then I turn them into envelopes. Why not, right? So this size paper will make, so it's slightly smaller than photocopy paper, will make an A1 card envelope. If you want it something a little bit bigger, just make sure you measure your card to according to your paper. So if your paper is got enough space on the bottom and on the top, you will have no problem whatsoever. So what I've done is basically created some envelopes out of some paper that I probably would not have used otherwise. Because sometimes, let's face it, some of these coloring pages are kind of juvenile or they're too many other, things going on. It's a bit too much. So in this case, there's a lot of density to the um, pattern itself. So what I've done is I was just created a few little colored dots, perfect for an envelope. In here, I just did very loose watercolor with the stripes. I didn't try to fill in each little individual piece. Here, I made the envelope first and I colored it in afterwards, which you can do too. This one, same thing. I just did a bunch of stripes. This is one of those ones that has a lot of small detail. I tried to treat it as one area instead of lots of little areas. So it turned out rather nicely. It's actually interesting how the envelopes turn out. This one I just used one color, so it looks more like a blue and white, Dutch Delft tile kind of thing. And then this I just kept plain, which you can obviously do too, because black and white, very graphic, very stylish in and of itself. So it doesn't really require a whole lot of imagination. So, a lot of these are kind of, so something like this, it'd be great for a children's birthday card or something like that, or an invitation. Let's say you have a color theme, but you don't have any envelopes to go with it, or, you ran out and you need to send something quickly. This is perfect because all you need is, you can get your kid to color this or your grandchildren to color this and then send it out to friends and family and whatnot else. But some of it is a bit too I don't really like the pattern, or it's too busy, or it's not, conducive to relaxing per se, I will change it into an envelope. Or even something like this. This is photocopy paper. Let's say you're in the office and you made a birthday card for Becky in accounting and Susan in marketing forgot to sign it, and now you've already sealed the envelope and you don't know what else to do. So make yourself an envelope out of some photocopy paper. Just get your card, whatever size they may be, preferably smaller than your photocopy paper. I mean, not too many people could sign something like this, but something like this you could easily transfer. So all you're doing is making sure you are folding up your edges, and you can make it a little bit bigger just to have a little bit of extra room if you wanted to. Now, this is not my idea. I saw this idea on Pinterest. And I thought it was a great way of recycling some, coloring pages. Now, if you have a child that has a coloring book and that they've really been busy coloring, You know, you could obviously even do something along the lines of sending their artwork out kind of thing. So you can get them to color it, put a pattern on it, color whatever they want, and then they can send something to their favorite grandparent or, you know, birthday invite for their little friends at school, whatever the case may be. But all we're going to do is we're going to trim these from the bottom, left and right, and the top. Longer scissors probably work a little bit better. I mean, I'm trying to think what you would normally have on hand. So most of us have photocopy paper. If not at home, at the office, you know, you get my meaning. So all we're going to do is we're going to fold that in for now. And I'm just going to make it a little bit prettier to look at. So when you fold it over nice and neatly, it'll look nice and pretty. You're just going to get your glue stick. If you don't have a glue stick, you could use tape, obviously. So you could do it either way you wanted to. So just like that. And then fold that over and take that, or glue it, whatever you have on hand. And then you have your envelope. Now, if you have something like this, lots of pattern, cut out a piece of white paper, tape it on there, and then put the address on that. Simple, right? Put your stamp on there, return address on the back, use whatever little scraps you have left over. If you want to punch out a shape, like a square, a circle, heart, whatever you want, and put the address on that, you absolutely could. But this works nicely for something like this. You just keep it nice and simple, and it'll just fit a card nicely in there. And then nobody has to know that you sealed it up too soon before somebody got to sign it. So, and it's perfect for children's coloring books and whatever they've colored. You can turn them into envelopes, send them away, and you have a nice little selection of envelopes available if you do a bunch of them at the same time. So let's say you have an Easter coloring book of your kid and they did the whole book and they colored it all in, and you want to make some envelopes for Easter. That's a perfect way of recycling. I had some stuff in the recycling bin. So this is some stuff I just went through on the weekend in my office. So obviously I could turn these into envelopes. All I'm going to do is put the print on the inside, and that will work just as well. The other side is blank anyway, so why not, right? And if you wanted to keep it that way, you absolutely could. You could color it in, you could do whatever you want. You could put a print on the other side. You can draw hearts, you can do stamps, you can do watercolors, you can do pencil crayons, whatever you feel like. But this way you're recycling some paper you have lying around. You know, in a pinch, this will do just as nicely. So I thought it was kind of nice to recycle whatever you have on hand. And you can get creative. You know, the world is your oyster, basically. You can make this as fancy or as simple as you possibly could want. Obviously, you would cut a lot neater than I am. My bigger scissors would be much better for this, unfortunately, but you get the idea, right? So this way, and then just glue it shut, or tape it, whatever you feel like doing. You can make this a fancy edge, you can round the corners, you can cut it with scissors, you can do your scalloped fancy scissors with this, and then it'll have a really cool edge. So if you wanted to do it that way, you absolutely could. I'm just keeping mine simple, but you can sort of see the idea, right? Oops, I am shaking the camera. I am so sorry. So let's say birthday card. I'm going to put that in there. slide that in. You can seal it shut. You can send it off. So if you run out of envelopes, there's always other options. And it's a good way to recycle your coloring page pieces or photocopy paper that you might have lying around, as long as it doesn't have any, important information on it. You can absolutely recycle it, just put it all on the inside. And then the outside you can leave blank, or you can color it, if you really wanted to. You could put some hearts on it, some dots. You could use a stamp, whatever you felt like. So it's nothing too fancy. If you want to be very spring-like, you absolutely could. But you can recycle your papers this way and create these cute little envelopes that you can do whatever you feel like with it. So anyway, just thought I'd share that with you guys, and I hope you enjoyed, and let me know if you try this and see what you can come up with. I'd be very interested to see some other ideas. And if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!